Hello everyone! This is Dragon Videos and welcome back to my channel. Now normally I would always do lists or certain reviews or symbolisms, but for this time around I'm going to talk about a song analysis. What that means is I'm going to listen to a song, show the lyrics, and present a meaning behind them. There's one particular song that in Helluva Boss caught my attention, and I thought maybe I should have a look into it. And some of you guys really were interested in me talking about the tearjerker known as Owl in the Cage, aka Stolas Sings. Practically one of the most emotional songs in the Helluva Boss series, as well as the saddest one yet. So I'm going to go over some of the lyrics of each portion of this song and discuss the meaning behind them. Of course, these are just going to be my interpretations and you don't have to agree. Also beware, there will be spoilers in this, so if you had not seen Helluva Boss, or more specifically the circus, please get off and then continue with this video later. Without further ado, let's begin.
Owl in a cage, you show your age.
Okay, there's no sugarcoating this. Stolas' life sucked when he was a kid and even during his marriage. So, in the beginning of the season 2, we learned that Stolas was part of an unhappy marriage and lived a pretty lonely life. His life even got more lonelier when he married Stella, who verbally, physically, and mentally abused him 6 ways till Sunday, practically going as far as humiliating him in front of her friends. And the only few things that make him happy are plants, stars, and of course, his beloved Octavia. He tries his best to bear with everything that's going on, trying to keep the happiness that he can manage together despite all that is being given to him. However, it still doesn't change the fact that his life has been horrible up to the point where he just can't stand up looking at himself in the mirror. So yeah, basically in a whole freaking nutshell, he is literally in a cage. A cage where he's stuck with a stupid title and has no life of his own. He can't make any choices. He's always bound to his royal duties.
Your sweetness has run foul. Without a change, you're lost, exhausted by your time on stage.
Basically, all his life he had to put a mask on when he's out in public. He can't be himself because it's unbecoming of a Goetian royalty. So he always has to put on a show whenever he's around other people as well as his own family. So of course it makes sense that he's mentally and emotionally depressed, as well as the fact that he has to take happy pills just to keep himself sane. So, of course, he has to try to get his act together whenever possible. Being thrown into this situation is not an easy task for him. And when he even shows the least signs of interests, let alone has some feelings for Blitz, he chickens out and doesn't show his true feelings for anyone. So, to make matters worse, Stolas tries his best to make amends with his daughter, as well as going as far as just trying to talk to her. But again, as I said in my last video, would you imagine trying to tell your 17-year-old about the arranged marriage as well as what role she's practically playing for the Grecian family? And on top of that, he has to divorce his horrible wife, which I'm thankful for, but at the same time, it's still gonna be a disaster trying to figure out how to sell things. So yeah, mentally and physically, Stolas is exhausted, and by the end of the day, he just wants to curl up and cry.
Then you walked in my room, and like sparks in the dark, life was suddenly thrilling and new.
As I said before, Stolas had lived a very lonely life, having a very neglectful, pain-in-the-butt father who doesn't seem to really care much about his kids, let alone even give the effort to actually be with him on his birthday. However, on one faithful encounter at the circus, Stolas had fallen hard for Blitz, or back then he was named Blitzo. And Blitzo was the only ever demon in the entire world that ever talked to him like a normal kid and doesn't exactly brandish him by his royal title. And it's because of that connection is how Stolas was able to memorize him after all this time. He still cherishes him because Blitz was the only person in his life who ever made him feel happy and good about himself. And even in some of the smallest moments in the episode, Blitz always seems to come to Stolas at his darkest moments and vice versa. But, of course, he gets a little too giddy about the situation, and then it kind of makes the whole thing a little awkward. But overall, if you think about it, when he said, "He's my knight in shining armor," there's a lot of truth to that statement in more ways than one. When Stolas doesn't realize when he's in actual danger, Blitz is there for him. And when Blitz is in danger, Stolas is there for him, and it makes the relationship more complicated.
What's between you and I? Just a comfortable lie. I'm the fool who believes when you look in my eyes.
Yeah, so as charming and sweet as this pairing can be at times, it was still problematic in its own right, and thankfully the show addresses of how problematic it is and not completely gloss it over. So of course, Stolas gets really excited and sometimes gets a little used by Blitz due to the circumstances of the whole grimoire thing. And when they were actually getting together for the first time in a while, they get called out of their relationship issues by none other than Fizzarali and Asmodeus, who are ironically, despite being in the Ring of Lust, seem to be relationship experts in more ways than one, practically making them realize of the heartbreaking reality that their relationship is in. Blitz is only there for Stolas when it involves the book, and Stolas is practically blinded by his own title and can't really voice his own feelings towards Blitz because he's so worried of how everyone else thinks of him. So yeah, this is a genuinely heartbreaking situation for this couple. They aren't completely awful to each other, but at the same time, this is where the complication of the relationship sets in. And I just feel like I want things to just turn around for them. But again, this is where, on the other side of things, Stolas is accepting the reality of his marriage, and that his life has been nothing but rotten this entire time, and bliss is like his only form of comfort.
Prince, all alone upon your throne, your power is so frail.
So yeah, the reason why it's such an important part of the lyrics is because it reflects the kind of power that Stolas has. He has none. Despite his magical abilities, his powers as a royal is very limited. So far we don't know what happened with King Paimon or what is going on, but we definitely know that the relationship in the Goetia family is bad. He's been born into a loveless arrangement. Don't know what's going on with his mom as far as we know, but he's been battling this for years. This loneliness, this trying to win the family's approval, even though they don't give a dang about him, as long as he provides them in heir, everything's hunky-dory. So I'm pretty sure this is 50-50 in how they're going to respond to the divorce and what will happen later on. But again, Stolas just has very limited power, more than we give credit for, and it'll probably get worse from there.
Will you raise your voice? You have no choice inside your guilty jail.
Again, this circles back to what the first portions of the lyrics says. Stolas is in a literal cage with no way out, and he's trying his best to gain the confidence he needs in himself, as well as admitting to the fact that he was in a horrible relationship with Stolas and that it needs to get better or he'll wind up all alone in the end of this series. So far, it seems, based on what we saw in Season 2, though we have yet to see the second part of the season finale of where the relationship is going to go from there. So it does feel like there's some improvement, but, well, let's just have our fingers crossed on this situation and just hope for the best. But anyways, these are just my thoughts on the song, and I'd like to hear yours. What do you think this song represents, and what could be the hidden meaning behind it? So, subscribe, do a like. Also, check out my posts now on YouTube when you get the chance on the community tab, because now I have that function. So I have polls, I have certain postings for news. So if you ever come across that community tab, please click on it. I really would appreciate the participation. This is Dragon Videos, signing off.